Hi guys, welcome back to my Friday the 13th movie reviews, and this time we're going to be discussing the last one in the original franchise before the reboot and the crossover, and that is Jason X. So with the constant delay of Freddy vs Jason from 1993 until now 2001, they decided to resurrect Jason once again, and this time it's in space. When you've used up all your lifelines in a franchise, you either have to remake it, reboot it, or set it in space. Now, when you set it in space, that's when you know the franchise is in trouble, and that's when you know the movie's going to be really bad. We've got a small montage at the start of the film, similar to the original Friday the 13th movies, but this time it's more CGI. And with what looks like scenes from Jason Goes to Hell, it shows Jason being secured and locked up, ready to be shipped and frozen in Jason X, but it doesn't explain how he got out of hell. And again, in Jason Goes to Hell, nothing was explained from part 8 to part 9, and the exact same thing happens here. Nothing's really explained from what happened at the end of part 9 coming into Jason X. It was just, again, a mess of a start of a movie. For me, the movie felt like a straight-to-TV sci-fi action movie that you would see on a Sunday night. The only horror element in this film for me was Jason. Kane Hodder plays Jason once again, and he plays him for the last time in the franchise. And to be honest, I can finally see why fans like Kane Hodder. This one, he was pretty good in this one, I will admit. He was probably one of the best Jasons that I've seen in all the Friday the 13th franchises. And again, I don't know if that is because Jason was the only good thing in this film. That's potentially the reason for it. But he did move out like a good Jason. He was pretty menacing. And I think when he became the Uber Jason, he looked a little bit more scary with the red eyes, the reddy orangey eyes. So maybe that had a factor in it. But Kane Hodder was one of the best things in this film, I will admit. The actors in this film weren't terrible. They were okay, but again, they were like the quality of a TV movie, like a TV action movie. The film felt like a long, bad episode of Firefly. Some of my favourite kills were actually in Jason X as well. I like the one with when he freezes the girl's head and he starts smashing it on the worktop. Again, some of the kills are pretty creative in this, but that's as far as this movie goes with that, is the kills. They were creative. Some of them are a little bit too CGI, but that's what we had back in the early 2000s. Since the movie was set in space and set in the year 2455, we knew we weren't going to see Camp Crystal Lake, but I am slightly relieved that we did see like a simulator of Camp Crystal Lake. Again, that was one of the only redeeming factors in the film. I liked that he landed back on Earth at the end of the film, but it was too bad. If they were going to make a Jason 11, it would have been still too bad, because when he landed back on Earth, it was the year 2455, and we wouldn't really recognise the Camp Crystal Lake or that area, because if it's set in the year 2455, everything's going to look different. The franchise certainly did take a turn for the worst. It was deteriorating since part 6, and then to set this movie in space, that wasn't going to help it at all. There's not much more I can say about Jason X. For a movie that's set in space, it should really be the worst one in the franchise, but it's not, and that is a big surprise. So far, throughout all my movie reviews, that award has to go to Jason Goes to Hell. But again, there's still a couple of movies to go, so that could all change. So what do you guys think of Jason X? I will say this, if it was classed as an action sci-fi movie that was set and shown on the Sci-Fi Channel, I probably would have found it enjoyable at the very most. But for a Jason movie, a Friday the 13th movie, it was pretty diabolical. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching again, thanks for subscribing, I'll see you soon, bye bye.